Alright guys, I'm in my favorite place in the world, my bunker. If I could turn the camera around, you'd see all kinds of toys and all kinds of cool stuff. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about trying to be Superman when you got Parkinson's. Stay tuned. What's up, YouTube? It's this guy, Jeremy McDonald. Let me hear you say it. One of your very favorite people with Parkinson's. Of course, that's Jeremy, also known as J Mac, Jeremy Mac. Let's do this thing. All right, sip of water. Seems like it's been forever since I've talked to you guys. Howdy, neighbor. I've been busy constructing a little video store, my own personal Blockbuster. You've probably seen my paraphernalia with Blockbuster stuff. Collected all in one place, got some shelves, and I will probably do a video about it at some point, but right now we're here to talk about something else. But before we get to that, I would like to say I got a few t-shirts left. I'm going to throw up a picture of my good buddy Sam Wade wearing it. He does not have Parkinson's, but he's one of my dearest friends. As my old sitar teacher used to say, my dearest friend Sam. Sounds like something the Hobbits would say in Lord of the Rings. And I'm going to, he's a great musician, and I'm going to throw up a link in the below. Sorry, I'm going to throw a link below. Yeah, I'm going to throw a link in the description so you can see his music, or listen to his music, and check out his Facebook page. Very brilliant guy. I wish I was half as talented as this guy was, or is. And we got some music coming out, hopefully a few months. Also, all my contact info is in below. My email address, my Instagram, my Facebook. Check them out. All right, let's get to today's business. First of all, I got Night in the Ruts by Aerosmith. It's a cave that'll tie in a little bit later. And then Willie Nelson, always on my mind. Parkinson's is always on my mind, but I picked that because he's kind of an outlaw, and that's what we're going to talk about. Meramec Caverns. It's a cave system in central Missouri. Once again, I'll put some pictures up. Beautiful place. My son's obviously off school for the summer. So my wife gave me a list of things. She said, what do you think you can physically do? And I said, a lot of them I couldn't, but I said Meramec Caverns, I can probably do that. I should have known Parkinson's and caves and long walks don't mesh real well. But it's been on my bucket list, Meramec Caverns. I've always loved the story of Jesse James and Jesse and Frank James, and I'm big fan of Westerns growing up. Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the Magnificent Seven, stuff like that. So I really wanted to go. This was kind of a me thing. So I said, yeah, let's go. Well, it's a 2-hour round trip drive. So as anybody with Parkinson's knows, spending time in the car is kind of anathema to staying loose. You get stiff. It's hard to move. Well, the first hour wasn't so bad because we went down through Route 66. Saw a lot of cool old cars and old houses. Pretty cool stuff. So we get there, and it's fortunately the cave is like 60 degrees. Outside was broiling hot. St. Louis is miserable right now. Das Wetter hier ist schlecht. German, a little German for you. The weather here is bad. That's for Doris, if you're listening to Doris. She's one of my listeners from Germany. Well, I knew it was going to be a long trip. Once we got there, I think it was an hour and a half inside the cave, and I don't know how long we walked, but it was a long way. Fortunately, there were railings along the way. My tremor was acting up pretty bad, so I kept my hand on the railing. There's probably, I'm just guessing, anywhere between 50 and 75 people, including children. I could be wrong, could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more. It was a lot of people, and we were going single file down these narrow cave corridors where it was slippery. Now, as you know, because my dyskinesia is so bad, especially my legs, I don't take it until the afternoon. Well, I had blocked out about 5 hours of intense physical exercise and then sitting in the car off my meds because I really wanted to see Meramec Caverns. Beautiful place, a lot of history there. I realized it's not cheap either. It wasn't cheap. I realized about 10 minutes in that I was screwed because I had embarked on this thing that I realized I didn't have the energy for. I realized when we went down the first slippery slope with the hand, I was like, I don't know about this. It was cool to see, but I paid an intense, immense physical toll later on in the day because I didn't take my pills till 2, and I basically spent the rest of the day in bed just so exhausted. So, moral of the story is, don't be like me. Don't try to do too much. That comes from, I'm not saying it just with parents, but here's my shirt, Meramec Caverns. Specifically as a dad, I want to be able to do all these things with my kid. I want to be able to be super dad and take him to the caves and just a lot of things I can't do, and I have to realize that because, I mean, eventually I'm not going to be able to do it, and I guess that was my thought, like, at least today I can drag ass and get through it. It was dark, so I wasn't really self-conscious because nobody could really see my shaking, but I did get a couple looks when I kind of blankly stared at somebody because I realized I did not want to be in front of the line. I wanted to be towards the back, and I just kind of froze, and the lady kind of looked at me like, "Are you going to move?" And I literally kind of froze up. But other than that, it really wasn't too awkward. I don't think anybody knew I was struggling except maybe my wife and maybe a little bit my son. My son was on cloud 9. He'd been there once before without dad. So, I don't know, is there anything that you've tried to do which you realized very quickly that you couldn't, and then you were kind of stuck? Like, at one point I realized if I have a full-blown panic attack, I'm not leaving this cavern. I can't wander off myself. I have to wait for the guide, and it would be, fortunately I didn't, but there was a moment there where I was like, I hope I can hold it together. So, yeah, just give me your stories about something you may or may have not done out of better sense than I had, but something you really, really, really wanted to do that maybe you did do. I mean, I'd wanted to see Meramec Caverns since I was a kid. Now I realize why my parents didn't take me, because it was like damn near over $100 just for 3 people, and that's without the souvenirs. So, I don't know, mistake made, mistake learned. I just got to realize I can't push myself. It's not good on my brain, it's not good for my body, it's not good for my heart, not good for my lungs, not good all around to push myself so hard. I do have some memory of going through this massive cave system, and it was fantastic, folks. If you ever get a chance to go, please do. It's an amazing location. In fact, there was one part where they even said, I guess back during Prohibition, they would pull their cars into the cave. It's huge, and they would I guess use their lights and have a party. I don't know about the carbon monoxide going on. That seems like kind of a bad idea, caves and cars, but history's full of crazy stories. All right, that's all I got this week. Leave your comments. Love hearing from you guys. Maybe next week I'll have a video, my video store. Keep tuning in. Keep posted. That's all I got from the sweltering, humid, jungle-like city of St. Louis. Peace and love. I wish you adieu. A little French.